Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today, I kind of took the weekend off from making videos and as it turns out at the beginning of this week I have gotten a tiny bit sick. I'm not feeling 100%, but this is a review that I feel that we need to get done now because as of tomorrow we will have the data for CG Lightning as well as Future Hope, and I think that is going to be pretty big because currently, the more I think about it, I think Future Hope is actually going to be the male healer that we've all kind of been waiting for. And CG Lightning I just expect to be very, very powerful. So I kind of want to get through this today, even though I'm not feeling 100%. So if I do make any mistakes, please forgive me. But don't really have a choice, kind of put this off, and now just got to get it done. So I'm going to give a thanks also to Yggdrasil. I'm going to basically be showing off your unit. It is a pretty damn awesome one, so hopefully you will forgive me. So let's play actually one of my favorite songs from Final Fantasy VIII. Why? Because I'm still, if you know the title of this, I'm still a little bit of this because I've only gotten one of this girl so far. But actually I really like this song. Anyway, it's very relaxing. So let us talk about Dress Up Aileen. Dress Up Aileen is very interesting as being basically a mini version of Axstar. If you take both of her, including pots and passives from her kit, she actually has a higher attack than Axstar. Axstar with pots and passives comes out to 704, where Aileen comes out to, well, with pots and passives in her 7-star form, 761, and that's a fairly big difference. It is to note that Aileen does have a lower defense, but a lower spirit too, which I find kind of interesting. She's basically, has a little bit more passives and potential, but that might be to make up for the fact that most of her stuff comes at the price of equipping a gun. Now, for Aileen, you're definitely probably going to need a super TMR gun, because any true dual hand unit basically needs 180 attack under their weapon for the new damage formula, or they lose out. And that's, well, yeah, that's a problem. And Aileen, thankfully, her super TMR is a really good weapon. So let's just talk about, first of all, materia. Trust Mastery is a materia, 60% attack when equipped with a gun, and 100% to blind, sleep, and paralysis resistance. All just very good things, just very solid things to have. It's nice to see some new gun mastery basically popping into the game, because guns, I think, are kind of underappreciated, so it's nice to see them here. Super Trust Mastery is a sniper rifle, and this is another top tier super TMR gun with, Vincent's super TMR as well as CG Jake's super TMR also being in the same category of very powerful guns. This is also a very powerful 180 attack and some, I think it's 70% accuracy, 1.3 to 1.7 times variance, I think. But again, I don't have the actual numbers in front of me, and unfortunately the Reddit page has not been updated yet. So that's a little too bad, because Reddit, the database just does not post this. And that sucks. So looking at her limit burst next, maxed out, is a 1450% physical attack, ignoring 50% defense, self, 5-turn, 100% damage versus machines and stones. Basically, Aileen continuing the tradition of hating both of those, and a 300% modifier for a couple of her abilities for 2 turns. Now that's pretty interesting because, again, really reminds me of Axstar's kit. Axstar, a lot of his abilities power up other abilities, and Dress Up Aileen is essentially just like that. She has that in her kit too. But Aileen's kit kind of varies a little bit in towards being more support orientated. So like here we have Entrust, pretty solid for just passing a limit burst on to someone else. If you don't like Aileen's is pretty good here, but I don't know, maybe you don't want it. She has an MP regen, AoE split over 3 turns. She has elemental resistance for earth and light, and yeah, both of those are pretty damn good, and she has both 2 types of chaining. She has pile drive as well as AT chaining, meaning that she can chain with, AT chaining is a really good family right now. It has a lot of members to it. It has very powerful units, and Aileen, thankfully, when you get to her 7-star form, has the ability to add both earth or light to her attacks on chaining abilities, meaning she can chain off these earth and light attacks, especially with another version of herself, and add the element to it, meaning that her own Super TMR is pretty beneficial to her because she has 2 elemental options too, and she doesn't lose on the elemental chaining. She also has HP heals split over multiple turns. She has ways to actually AoE charm, so she's kind of annoying in arena because her 42 ability has a 15% chance to charm. Again, sometimes you just got to work with basically anything you can get to get by some of the more annoying teams in arena. Oh yes, and of course she can debuff for the element she uses. And then we have just her big 2 chaining abilities for 58, MP, and 62. These are kind of her big ones that you'll probably be using, directly after you have... excuse me. I really hate being sick. I really hate it. But these are her big 2 chaining abilities. And enable access to basically her 58 MP ability is the one that you kind of really want because it unlocks her triple casting for 3 turns. So using this as well as, one of her elementals kind of sets you up for multiple turns. Every little while you just have to go back and use this ability again. If I'm correct, whoops. Yeah, she does have another way, but that is in her 7-star kit. So, getting into her 7-star, this is kind of the thing I don't like about her kit in general. It's the fact that to get her light elemental chaining, you have to make her 7-star. Earth is fine, I suppose, but it's kind of annoying that she just doesn't have the light element until she gets into her 7-star. But given some of the light debuffers that we've seen in the game come up recently, like Aerith or their Santa Rosalia, they're people who can debuff for the light element that would pair very nicely with this girl being able to do light elemental chaining. And her 2 cooldown abilities are, pretty interesting. Shall We Dance, which is a very interesting ability, which is scaling buffs. So the buffs actually do increase over 4 turns, going from 130% to 250% and increasing some of her abilities, the boost on those abilities from 50 extra percent to 150%. This is really cool. We've seen degrading stuff in the game, but we have yet to see, upgrading stuff. So this is kind of cool. I really like this, and I hope we see this in more units in the future. It also gives her triple cast for a little while, and that's pretty good to have too. And her other ability, that is her other cooldown, 5-turn cooldown, available turn 1, give limit bursts for 2 turns. Basically 12 limit bursts first turn and 8 limit burst crystals the second turn. Just a kind of cool little ability that's multi-step, and that's kind of the way Aileen just is multi-step. So let's just go in. We're going to show her off a little bit, but my general thoughts about both Ayaka and Dress Up Aileen, new Ayaka of course, is that they're both absolutely really, really solid. So let's just show off Shall We Dance, because I really like the flare on this one. Hopefully we won't kill. So as you can see, the flower petals actually change every turn, which is a really cool little effect to see. And one more turn. Uh-oh. You just had to attack her, didn't you? Anyway, the last turn, I believe that the flowers are a nice dark red, so that's very, very cool. I just like the idea of changing visual elements. It shows some pretty neat things. Also, equipping her own TMR. We haven't really talked about her passives, but she has some natural chance to dodge attack. She has some extra, true dual hand bonus. I believe 150% is what is in her kit. She has a natural limit burst fill rate. And equipping her own TMR does give her the triple cast at the start of the fight, which basically just, leads very well. And is an advantage that I think she kind of has over Axstar, because Axstar does not start a fight. With triple cast, you have to unlock it. She has natural double cast in her ability, but let's face it, triple cast is just kind of the way to go. And as you can see, you have access to pretty much all of her abilities, so let's use that. And we will use this. Why not? Sure. We're going to be mean to this pot. So yes, basically Dress Up Aileen checks a lot of the boxes. Ayaka is strong but doesn't have triple casting, which is a... Didn't kill. Good girl. We'll check out the limit burst next, I think. But Ayaka has this problem of not having triple casting, but because of her spirit chaining, she's incredibly powerful. Aileen, being a kind of slightly different version of Axstar, also has her own benefits that some benefits that Axstar does not have, as well as some things that she is missing compared to Axstar. I don't think her kit is quite as complete as Axstar, but then again, she is, very, very powerful. And she has the potential of quite a few chaining partners, as well as just being very solid for the future. Both Ayaka and Dress Up Aileen ended up being really good. So you may be wondering, well, Umbra, the way you're talking, it sounds like there is a but in all of this. And yes, there is most definitely a but when it comes to talking about, Aileen as well as Ayaka. And that's a general problem that I have with the where we are currently in the game. Right now, I mean, first of all, there was a guaranteed one, but after that, to get the tickets, you essentially have to be going on some of the other banners to get the HD tickets. It's not necessarily bad, but at the same time, I'm not jumping for joy. Why am I not jumping for joy? Let's do this. We'll get Aerith here to just... and see if we can't do a cool closeout on this. Let's see if we can't get that limit burst going again, shall we? I know it's greedy. I know it's very, very greedy, but let's see if we can do it one more turn. Ooh, I think we did it. Or we did. Oh yeah, I guess you got slightly less. That's fine. Well, let's just power through it and just punch him right in the face. But yeah, one of the problems I have with this banner, one, we know that CG Lightning is coming in, well, tomorrow. Well, her data is coming tomorrow. We know that True Dual Wield is supposed to be the future. That's what Alum has told us, and I absolutely believe them when they say that, because they are making a push for it. And yeah, the True Dual Hand meta has been around probably too long now, about a year, so it's time to change things up a little bit, just to make it, a little bit different. But this banner in general, while it feels absolutely solid between this girl and this girl, I think, getting both of these, either or both, are in 7-star form is absolutely awesome. Their 6-star forms don't feel as good or anywhere near as good as their 7-star form, which is the general case. But the EX point system right now has just not been updated on the JP side, and that's a reason I think that you should not be spending money quite yet. Tomorrow there should be the rework of the system to just have generally better rewards for going up. For instance, completing 600 points should give you a now Moogle container, which is a big change. So it's kind of this awkward position where if you are looking to spend any money on Lapis now, you're kind of waiting for that update, and it's just not happening until tomorrow. And the real question is it really worth going for these two girls? Neither of them are limited, and so in the future you have plenty of opportunities to land them. You can even UOC them. See, there they are. So yes, Dress Up Ayuka is a pretty damn solid version of Axstar, and that is very good. She has pile driving and AT chaining, and those are two very good families to have. She has elemental options, but her elemental options don't pair with Axstar, and that kind of makes her a little bit less, likely to be recommended by me because, well, it's just so difficult to find Axstars right now. Axstars are easily the most common unit, and I think everybody is currently waiting for CG Lightning, so I guess we'll find out tomorrow if it was worth the wait. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for another video. See you then.